Hold on a second. Apparently my iPods are not picking that up.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah. Tan medios.
What a difference. Yeah, I was wondering what the hell's going on.
Oh, yeah.
You need an upgrade, man.
You need the pros.
I know, man. I need a lot of stuff. I need new knees,
No,
new manico, everything, new voice. Everything.
Híjole. What's up, guys? This is episode... What is it?
What is it?
19.
Yeah,
Episode 19 here of CharroBeans podcast. Here on a good Texas. It's hot today. It was hot today. I'm expecting the cold front to come in, and it's not coming in, man. They said till next week. So.
I mean, it comes in and out. That's Texas, you know.
Yeah, that's true. It's just you don't know what to expect whenever we're really out here.
It's bipolar.
But today was hot. Anyway, this is episode 19. I appreciate everybody coming back and coming to listen to us talk again for some reason. And me and Victor out here.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
How you guys doing? Today we have another special guest joining us here on CharroBeans. Very special. We've talked to him a couple times. We had to remind him who we were though, because a lot of people.
I don't think he remembers me.
Not a lot of people know who we are. But we want to give a special warm welcome to Mr. Chuy Hernandez. How are you, sir?
Doing well. I'm still alive. I'm hanging in there by a thread, but I'm hanging in there.
No, I'm gonna know these. No, we invited Mr. Chewie out here because I don't know if you remember. I've had a couple classes with you in California for nationals, and that's the last time I think I talked to you. Maybe it was a time in Texas too, but I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I talked to you, Chewie. But I really wanted to get you out here because I mean you're very respected in the mariachi community, and we like what you've done just in general in mariachi and your guitar playing. I mean, todos te conocen, and everybody's got good things to say about you. So we really wanted you to come out here and talk to us and share your little bit of wisdom that you have and with us and with the rest of these 10 listeners that we have.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to give a quick introduction to those people who may not know who you are. Just a quick little bio.
Yeah, well, my legal name is Jesse. Although I was born Jesus Hernandez, right? And then I became an American citizen in 1971. And I was looking for scholarship money. So they go, hey man, if you Americanize your name, you might get a better chance of getting some scholarship money, right? So when I went through the naturalization process, that's when I changed. Go, okay, I'm gonna make it Jesse. Jesse L is for Ledesma. That's my mother's maiden name, and Hernandez for my dad. But of course, everybody, Chuy.
Yeah,
so,
that's how I met you. So everybody that talked about you, or even when you introduced yourself, I think it was Chewie.
Everybody knows me as Chewie, and I mean it's for me, mariachi was not going to be my life. Believe it or not, I actually was a trumpet player from 6th grade all the way through high school. Played in a high school band and marching band, jazz band, and concert band. Right. You know how that goes. Back in the day, of course, they didn't have no mariachi schools or anything like that. It was And I graduated the top 10% of my high school, and I got some scholarship money to go to Loyola Marymount University here in LA.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to go to school because, I saw my brother Pedro, my brother Toño, Chencho, and even Jose back in the day. I mean, he started at 12 years old. He was already playing super good, and me, I was okay. I think I would have been part of the multitude. But I mean, you know what I mean? But you always want to be really, really good. And I go, I guess this ain't gonna be for me. So I went to school and I got my BA and I went to graduate school. And
what'd you study?
What'd you end up graduating in?
And my BA was in Spanish literature.
Oh, okay.
And then I went for education.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, on the sideline, I had given up the trumpet. Mm-hmm. And so I needed music in my life. And my dad goes, one day when I was home, I told my dad, I go, I need music. And he goes, a ver, miras esa guitarra que está ahí. I go, sí. My dad didn't speak English, right? He goes, a ver, tráemela para acá.
A ver.
So he brings it over, and then he goes, mira, esta es re, esta es segunda. So just basic stuff. And I picked up really quick because I already knew some music theory.
Right.
And I was always enamored with the right hand in mariachis. I used to wear los Galleros back in the day, back in the day. It was my brother Beto playing guitar, Fernando Gonzalez, they call him El Cochero, because he had the big long sideburns. You know how and those guys were like really, really great rhythm section. I used to just watch. So in my head, I knew all the manicos in my head. But technically,
La mano no.
No obedecía,
Yeah,
use a hand for other stuff, but not for manicos.
Right.
No digan. No me
you know what I mean? But I would actually, so as soon as I started like learning the chords and the progressions and stuff like that, I was enamored with sones. So I go into my room and just like bang away, not thinking that I was gonna ever do this for a living.
No, yeah, for sure.
¿Me entiendes? So one night changed everything. One night, and my brother Pedro told Jose and myself, he goes, hey, a friend of mine needs a trumpet and a rhythm section because these people are leaving him.
Right.
And we go, hey, yeah, we could play technically. I go, but we don't know how a lot of repertoire. Ahí se van a agarrar. So that was the longest night of my life, man.
Dang. So I just threw you
because I could play rancheras, tres acordes,
Yeah.
And sones, I mean, everything I could play well.
Right.
Boleros and polkas and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, it was the longest night.
I mean, all of those different chords. I mean, bolero for sure. Like I've told Victor on here a couple times, if you're playing like a Javier Solis song, where he changes chords every four strums, you can't really fake that, or you got to kind of know the song at least.
Yeah. So for me, it was every night that I experienced that, I would go home the next day. And the first night that I went out and played, the next morning I get up in the morning, and I had just been recently married. I married at 23 years old, and I got up in the morning. My wife had already gone to work, and I got up and I was like very sore because I wasn't used to wearing boots. I'm 6 feet tall, and my dad was like maybe 5'7", if at all.
How did that happen?
So. Yeah, I know. He had a lot of friends.
You were pretty tall, man.
I wasn't that lucky. My dad's short and I'm short, so I pretty much got screwed on that one.
Yeah, but one of my uncles is a tall guy. He's like 6 feet tall, so we got a little bit of height. Okay. But I was like so sore, man. My feet were sore, my back. I didn't have callos on my left hand, so it was like my dad looks at me.
Cut up.
After that, you didn't.
Yeah. My dad goes. I go, when I come out of the room, he looked at me, he goes, ¿Qué pasó, cabrón? And I look at him with like a sad face, and he goes, ¿Verdad que no es tan fácil, verdad? No, pa. Me voy a bañar, voy a comer algo, y luego me ayudas con unos tonos. So every day, he would teach me the chords to different boleros and stuff like that. So every day, I mean, I was committed because I loved it so much, and I decided, well, I can't be a teacher and play mariachi, so I will give mariachi a chance. Mm-hmm. And the rest, as they say, is history.
It's history. No, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's what I decided to do with my life. Yeah. I go, if it doesn't work out in maybe the first 5 years, then I'll make a turn and then go back to the teaching part of it to get into it. Mm. So that's a little bit of my genesis.
No, yeah, pues así dicen. I mean, it's like you said, really early on, you don't know where what direction your life is going to go in. I mean, you were 20 years old and you just kind of picked up a guitar one day and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this, but you don't know how long you're going to do that. I think when I started or when Victor started, we didn't think we'd be doing this maybe as long as we did, or as long as we're doing it now, So
yeah, it was just an elective at the time.
Yeah, for us it was just for us it was a chance to learn to play guitar in school, and I didn't have to go to like orchestra or because I was never into orchestra or choir or anything like that.
Exactly.
So and I've told Victor, I was like, when I started, all I wanted to do was play rock music. Like that's what I want to do. I wanted to be like Slash and stuff like that. So when I started, I never thought I'd be playing mariachi this long, or especially like even continuing it to this day,
or working, or being,
or
having it as a job.
Yeah, because I mean, we still
getting paid.
Yeah, we still work on it every weekend. That's what we do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've been
I mean,
seeing that.
well, you know, I've been out of Salt Lake Mexico for about a year now. Actually, in September it was 1 year that I ended. I ended on, I think, September 15th.
How long did you play there, years wise?
Since 1981.
Wow, I wasn't even born yet.
So what happens? Salt Lake Mexico originally was Mariachi Los Hernandez.
Los Hernandez.
That was the original. 1981. It was my dad, Chencho, Antonio, Beto, Jose, and myself. Six family members.
Wow.
We left Pedro Rey in Los Galleros. We got upset with him for you know, family reasons, and we left him, and we
Lo cortaron.
Group.
Lo cortaron.
Dicen golpe de charro. You know, and so we started, and we lasted only about 10 months, and then the place we were playing at, it went downhill. So my brother Pedro goes, well, come back, you know. So Jose and I went back. I mean, all of us went back to his group. And then it didn't last very long. He let me go, you know. He goes, hey, I don't want you recording with Jose. I let him find his own people. I go, hey, bro. But I make a little extra money on that. Why would you? Anyway, we were not in accord. So he goes, okay, if you can't follow that direction, then you can't be in the group. Okay, so I went home and I started crying. My wife goes, ¿Por qué estás llorando? I was just so hurt emotionally, not because he hit me or nothing, but and then Jose came later that day. He goes, hey, I heard you got out of the group. Well, technically, I was fired.
I was fired. That's two different things.
Yeah. And then I told him why. He goes, hey, you know what? That's not right. And at that moment, he called Nati Cano.
Oh, shit.
He called him Nati because Nati had been wanting Jose for a long time. He actually already had a broche for him with a JH and a Villa because he figured someday
he's going to come over.
He's going to be part of my group.
Join the dark side.
He just didn't count that I was going to be tagging along. So we went and we met with him, and right away I got that feeling that, you know, okay, I'm going into this group because he wants Jose and I'm tagging along, right? But as soon as I played that first night, the first night in La Fonda, you know, he's up in the balcony watching us perform.
Right.
So he comes down and in the break, and then he calls me over, Chuy, Damián, you know, Luis Damián, the vihuela player, Arturo Martinez, guitar player, and he called us over to the bar area. And I thought, okay, you know, so we're walking over there, and he goes, Arturo, Luis, dicen los sones, todo lo que se sabe él ahorita bien, síganlo a él. So he told them the first night to follow me. And I was like, okay, you know, it's like, you know,
no pressure.
Because that's when he realized that I could play and I could sing too. You know what I mean? You know? So that was very interesting. We lasted like 13 months with Nati. It was eye-opening in some aspects, not musically, because musically we were above.
How long have you been playing by that time?
By that time, that was 1982, and I started in 75.
Oh, so yeah.
1975, so I had like 7 years under my belt.
Right. Yeah.
And of course, the repertoire is different, but mariachi is mariachi, rancheras, sones, guapangos, you know, everything, that technical part.
Right.
And I could play percussively, and that's why he goes, síganlo a él, todo lo que sabe los sones. And they right away they go, no, lo que se diga chief, you know, that's called him chief.
Yeah, it's called chief.
Yeah, and that's the way it was. I had a really, really nice time with those two individuals. Luis Damián was a great friend, great worker.
Still playing.
And Arturo Palacios, you know, great vocalist. I mean, it was like, and we found out, Jose and I like saw a different angle of, mariachi wasn't all about just the great playing, but the way you presented yourself to people, because he would say, it doesn't matter if people don't know about if you play truly well or not. But if they see you well dressed and you stand up and really like showmanship, you got it beat. So we incorporated when we went back to Los Galleros in 1983. We brought all that mentality, coupled with the musicianship that Los Galleros Jose started writing from 83 to 86. Los Galleros, you know, the concerts that we did in Rey back in 84. I mean, he was just writing and it, coupled with that other mindset, you know, it was historic. Those 3 years with the Galleros were really, really, really nice. You know, and then of course, 86 we got Sol de Mexico back on track, and the rest is history, man.
Yeah, you ended up playing a long time. I mean, since '86, I can't count, so it's like 4.
Well, Celito Lindo's Celito Lindo's is closed forever because of the pandemic and a lot of things that happened politically against my sister-in-law.
Oh man,
you know, they took some bits of things that she said, and they take a little bit here and there, and then boom, you know, they let her have it. So somebody tried to burn it down.
What?
I had seen something like that.
Right?
Yeah,
I saw people protesting. I think I saw people protesting. It's like, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. And then my brother, you know, he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it go. And but he's already like this was in El Monte, right? Cielito Lindo,
right?
Which is like a mile and a half from where I live. You know, that's why I bought a house over here.
Oh, okay.
But now he's gonna open up in the Orange area, which is in the city of Tustin.
Oh, okay.
And he already has. He's gonna be the place gonna be called Casa del Sol. It will open in February.
Oh, okay.
So he's already
new headquarters.
Yeah, people gotta give him a lease. They give him some money to remodel the. So he doesn't put money into remodeling. They give him money.
Right.
So I think Sol de Mexico is, you know, when people ask me who's the best group in the world, I go the most famous is Mariachi Vargas. I go, but the best group musically speaking, Sol de Mexico has been for many, many years, musically speaking.
Right.
You know.
Well, you got to play there, so you were actually there. You got to see a lot more than we do. You know, we're on the outside. You're on the inside.
You get to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and just
you know, I see my brother when he started writing, and then the continued metamorphosis. You know, that he's just evolving more and more and more. So I was always, even to this day, I was always like, where in the hell does he get all this? all this stuff. I mean, it's like he never stops,
right?
You know. And this
for sure.
You know, this last record that we did, Bailando Sones y Guapangos, it was perfect for me because I started that with Los Galleros, playing that kind of music,
right?
And to go out with that album was a perfect exit for me.
Yeah. Okay. So you ended up recording on that one?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear my guitar in there, like Pepe Perez and myself.
Yeah.
Pepe, a really wonderful kid, very talented and very respectful.
Yeah.
And we were like really getting. I mean, we played together for 1 year.
Yeah,
he came in September, and I left in the following September. So we had about a year together.
Yeah.
And I wish we would have had more, but I told him one very important thing. I go, Sol de Mexico has always been led by the guitar player, which that's me. I go, for the first time in its history, a vihuela player is going to lead, and that's you.
Yeah.
So whatever happens from now on, it's on you.
No pressure.
You know what I mean? No. But you know, he's so talented and sings very well, and you know, I mean, I think very highly of him, and you know, and Alejandro, who also is a very multi-talented young man who came in with guitar, really good singer, and plays guitar. Actually, guitarrón is his really instrument. You know, he's really instrument. He plays really well. But he's just a super, super talented kid and great voice too. So, you know, I wish them the best. And is it kind of dark in here? Or
no, you're good. I mean, we can still see. I mean, if you saw the Tony episode, he was outside and it got dark.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah, it got really dark. Light on. Yeah, go ahead. There you go.
I'm just kind of. Is that better?
Yeah, it's a lot better actually.
Okay, yeah. Es que con la luz se me notan más las arrugas.
And we got a big old bright light on us, so.
Yeah. So
no,
what else do you want to ask me? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, since you were talking about Pepe was actually from Fort Worth. He was our high school. He was in our high school. We played with him. He played vihuela, or I played vihuela, and he would play since he was like our only singer. Not a lot of singers sang when you're in high school, you know. So he was the singer mostly. I was playing vihuela, and Victor was playing harp in that same group. So we've known Pepe for a while too. And it was crazy because what you're saying is that when that when he got in, you only played with him for a year. And it was funny too, because I would always see him like in our mariachi room. He was always practicing. That's all he always does.
To this day, I think.
Yeah, to this day,
yeah,
he's always on top of the instrument. Man.
He would always be playing. Always be playing.
You know, he's when we record, he is the best dude that ever plays with a click track.
Mm-hmm.
He's like incredible, man. It's like I go, man, you're the best that I've ever heard, you know, playing with a click track. I go, but you have to remember one thing. I go, because when you're playing live, there is no click track.
True.
Right? So you have to learn how to dance with a melodic part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was having kind of like a few issues in there, you know, kind of you have to marry the melodic part of especially Sol de México, when Jose comes in or our trumpet players who are very, very capable.
Mm-hmm.
Right away, they dictate tempo.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you're recording, for example, you play vihuela, and if you just like kind of pick, that's when you record. But when you're live, you got to toda la mano,
you bring it out
really full. So I would hear like certain criticisms that people would say, hey, you know, but he sounds small. And I tell them, I go, no, tienes que meterle la mano. I go, live is very different from recording.
In the studio.
Live. That's when I categorize people, when they play live.
Mm-hmm.
Recording, anybody can, like Pro Tools and fix things or whatever.
Right.
However, Pro Tools cannot capture your heart.
True.
When you sing and when you play.
When you're actually seeing them really on stages where you see a person's full capabilities, especially because it's live.
Exactly
everything that is going on, you're seeing it, and you know any mistake, you're seeing it, everything is being heard right then and there.
I mean, plus you're like playing for people, you know.
Yeah,
I think that's what matters compared to playing with just a metronome in a room, you know.
The anxiety.
It's very, very different, because once you're live, the adrenaline flows.
Right.
And you know, as rhythm players, we always tend to like want to go a little bit quicker. But I learned that a long time ago with my brother Pedro when we split up with Galleros. He was like, nos regañaba. Pendejo, ¿qué no estás oyendo que vas corriendo? El 3/4, you know, pam, pam, que no oyes que está abierto el tiempo. Pero eso qué quiere decir? He just meant that it was not really precise, right?
Right.
You know, if you really think when you're playing 3/4, you would think takapam pam takapam pam takapam pam takatan takatan tan takatan tan but play full. That's a mindset, but after a while you can't. It just becomes automatic.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to think that way anymore. At the beginning, I would like, okay, I get it. And then, you know, you apply it when you play. Right. Yeah, but there's nothing like live playing, man. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, we probably played a lot bigger venues than we have and stuff like that. I mean, can you remember a specific time where you were just like, whoa, am I really here playing in this?
You know what?
For these people?
Believe it or not, the greatest experience that I have had as a musician was in 1996. We were on tour in Mexico City, touring with La Nueva Era, which had Glenn Miller and all that stuff. So Capitol Records sent us to Mexico to promote the record. So when Charros found out that we were gonna be there, this entrepreneur, they had a place called El Mariachi. He hired Jose for 2 nights. He goes, hey, we want Sol de Mexico, man. You already started selling tickets. The 2 nights are sold out. So the Vargas people found out. So they sent the Mariachi musicians syndicate to that venue to tell the owner, hey, why are you hiring a group that come from the States? There's so many groups here in Mexico. So if you hire them, I go, we're gonna have to fine you, and then who knows what's gonna happen. So the owner had to like call Jose, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do it. This and this happened. Jose goes, oh, don't worry about it. For that, you know, it was extra for us. We're still on tour anyway. But the beauty about everything, you know, cuando dicen el tiro sale por la culata, when things got reversed, you know, Charros came to look for us in the hotel. So I was like descending the stairs, and I ran into two. Remember Burkis, the violin player for Vargas?
Björkis? What's his real name?
Nomás le dicen el Björkis, el becerro, le dicen. Anyway, he's not there anymore, obviously. But his brother and some other guy that I knew came into the lobby as I was walking out. Right. And he go, hey, ¿dónde está tu carnal, Chuy? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Pues ahorita va a bajar, vamos a desayunar. Órale, Jose. Jose came down, we went and had breakfast, and then tell him, Jose, all of Garibaldi is fucking pissed off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué dice? Nos dimos cuenta que los Vargas fueron los que los pararon ustedes de tocar en el negocio, en el restaurante del Mariachi.
The betrayal.
So, yeah. So, I mean, but you know what? We cannot let your group and you go without us listening to you live.
Oh.
And Jose goes, you know what? If you can find a venue, good sound system, we'll play for free for 2 hours. We'll do a 2-hour concert for you free. You know, so sell tickets and pay for the place and play and that's what they did, and we did it right there in Garibaldi, man.
Oh,
Guadalajara de Noche, which is a restaurant there. It was like packed, the bottom, the top, and then you look outside, all kinds of charros that couldn't get in because there wasn't enough space.
Yeah, I mean,
it was 99% charros, man.
Oh, so they wanted to check you guys out.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, when we finished the concert, even Rigoberto Alfaro, you know,
he was there.
The GOAT. I call him the GOAT because he's the baddest guitar player, you know.
Yeah.
He when we were walking in to the stage, I felt somebody pull my jacket, and I turned around and it was him. He goes, Chuy, ¿qué ha pasado, don Rigo? Dice, Usado, te voy a estar viendo, okay. Ah, qué bueno. Ahorita le echamos ganas, you know.
No pressure, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's, but when we finished the concert, all the charros were saying, no, cabrón, dice, con razón los Vargas no querían que tocaran ustedes. Pinche bañadón, all kinds of stuff, I mean, for us, we just wanted to like cater to those guys because, when you see your peers so enthused and then they're loving what you do, that was a great experience. The Vargas thing, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And all of them, they're all my friends.
Yeah.
But, they know I'm the badass. They know.
Right.
I know for sure. I know for sure it'd be weird for me like to play for a bunch of charros because just in general, like I feel like anytime you play for a musician, they're judging you regardless.
I mean, they know what to look for, Yeah. So it's just kind of like
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is not to because when I hear a group, I gravitate right away to the rhythm section.
Yeah, right? For sure.
But then I've heard my brothers, the best trumpets ever, Chencho and Jose, my brother Pedro, they're icons that came from Don Miguel and Cipriano Silva. Those 5 trumpet players are the baddest dudes ever.
Right.
So I know what a good mariachi in tune, whether, the style, so on and so forth. I know what it's supposed to sound like, even the violins, the way they manage the bow. So right away, but I never go to criticize.
Yeah.
At all. I just go, they play well. Or whatever. Or you lack, when you see that they lack certain things, you go, ahí está un poquito fallo en eso.
Yeah.
But never like a amarrear, that's, that isn't me. But
what's
when
that?
people ask me things, they ask me, how do you play this? How do you play that? Hay que compartir.
No, but see, I think you, for sure, you have a lot of knowledge just in general, just doing it so long. You've gone through as far as like the issues, certain guitar players will face as far as like pick holding and to open up their sound and stuff like that. Like you've gone through a lot of that just because you've played so long, And so it's great at least that you have the mentality that you'd be like, if a kid asks me, or especially a student, because if anything, students when they're young, like they don't know what they're doing or they're very lost. So for you to like tell them, give them pointers at least, like that helps out a lot. Because I've seen that you actually teaching right now. Is that?
Yeah, I do.
You told me you had
on Mondays.
Teaching. Yeah. So is that for like a private lessons, or is that more like a class?
It's actually a mariachi group.
Oh, okay.
So they have me teaching the rhythm section. Georgie teaches the guitarrón player, and the violins and vocals are done with Fernando.
Oh, okay.
And then Moises on trumpet, he, shows them the phrasing, so on and so forth. So a little group, they sound well. I mean, they're teenagers, man. But
yeah.
So oyen bien, soy mariachero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I got them like doing. I did a Facebook Live yesterday, like for about. We were rehearsing El Son del Ausente.
Yeah,
You know?
I took a look at it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then we're like, órale, boom, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's that. I enjoy doing that, you know, passing it on, so on and so forth. And private lessons, I really don't really have the time to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's I'm just, you know, happy that I can still play, you know, that I can go out and have fun, because that's for me, that's what it is. It's fun. It's not like, oh shit, I'm tired, I've been playing so many years, oh, my back or whatever. I go out and enjoy, you know. There's only 5 of us.
Yeah.
Guitarrón, guitarra, un violín, 2 trompetas.
And the group that you're playing in right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y tocamos de todo. I mean, just el folklore, lo que es el folklore. I love it.
How's the work over there in LA?
Doing well. You know, last week I did like 7 hours. I'm going to do 13 on Saturday and Sunday. So you know, so at $70 an hour.
Well, yeah, if it's a smaller group too, and sometimes it's better too, because I mean, if everybody can play their instrument, you know, well, you don't need as many, especially if the ambiente is all there, and you know, it's the same as a bigger group. I feel like you're good. You know what I mean? Like you can still put on the same show.
It's quality over quantity, man.
Right, exactly.
When it comes to, you know, more musicians doesn't necessarily mean more. With Sol de Mexico, yes, obviously, if there's 13 and they all play well and they're under the direction of the GOAT, and Mariachi is Jose. You know, this guy's it just amazes me every time that he's got every freaking angle covered. He's a great vocalist, trumpet player. To me, he's the best ever. I think just a tiny bit above my brother Chencho.
Oh, wow.
Them two are the best ever. Of course, the icons you're talking about, Don Miguel is the icon. And then Cipriano came and kind of did a little twist, and the style was really beautiful. And then Pedro Rey, my brother, he's more like Don Miguel, but Pedro's is very melodic when he plays simple melodies. It's like, it's like swallowing honey. It's so smooth and so beautiful. He plays a trumpet the way he sings. But when it comes, you know, when Chencho came and at 19 years old, I don't know if you guys probably never heard of Mariachi Los Monarcas, but that's when they were the ones that first recorded La Gruta, La Viquina, La Hormiga, all those. And it was Don Jesus. Chencho was 19 years old. He was in Vargas. So they go, you know what? Vargas doesn't want to record this song, so we're going to go with Los Monarcas. And they took Chencho. And Chencho did, you know, started like improvising on solos. And so he took it to another,
Okay.
Yeah, Chencho, he did like Brasilia, La Pastilla, several, you know. You could tell because the other guy, when he does the vibrato, you could tell he's it's more open. But Chencho's is really nice and compact. So you can tell right away. I know my trumpet players. When I hear them, I go, that's Federico, that's Pedro, that's Cipriano, that's Don Miguel, you know, because you learn. I learned that like really quickly, man. So this guy is just multifaceted, you know, a great director. He writes like nobody ever did. So he's going to go down in history as the best all-around mariachi ever to lace him up. La moña, right? You lace
moño, I was thinking, can you lace up the boots? And I was like,
or lace it up, you know, instead of lace them up. You know, but I mean, it's you know, being part of that whole evolution of this guy was, you know, the greatest gift for me, you know, is playing his music, you know. So, yeah, but now you would think that I would miss it, right? But I don't because you know, I coordinated everything. I say, hey, we're going here, and I coordinate everybody. So now that I just show up for the gigs with these guys, go boom, we finish the gigs. Okay, ¿cuánto me debes?
Y no me vas a contar
nada. Yeah, I'll sell you the amount. That's the most reason.
Yeah, I mean, you got to experience both sides. I mean, you were big in Sol de Mexico. They got to play in these big, huge events and concerts, and now you're gigging. I mean, that's what we do now. You know, we gig, we play for money, really. But I mean, we play it because we enjoy it. That's the reason we keep.
Exactly.
I mean, if it was just for money, I mean, you would be doing something else.
Yeah, I mean, we would just have another regular job, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Really, our avenue is music because I mean that's what we like to do. So I mean, we're down with that. You know, that's what we keep doing. So.
Yeah, mariachi music. I think it's. I think once you play it and experience it, you just can't give it up unless you're physically not able. You know, and I don't know if you know, but I've for 10 years I've had rheumatoid arthritis.
The last time you told me.
But still I'm able. Now I wouldn't record anymore because my left hand, for example, my index finger, when I try to do like the B flat diminished, which is A7 with a B flat, I can't do the B flat, so I got to play it over here on the bottom. So I wouldn't record stuff anymore. I could record folklore like I did with Bailando Sones y Guapangos. That you know, it was like awesome, and we're like kicking ass on those things, you know. But and of course when I play live here, who's gonna tell, you know, when I like, you know, my index finger is not obeying me, but but in general I can still play well. Play well, you know. I don't consider myself like I never think about being the best, never, because that's arguable. So I think that you should always like just try to be the best you can be with what God gave you. And that's as simple as that. And people categorize you. Don Rigo tells me all the time, "You're the best, man." And I go, "Oh, well, thank you very much." I go, "But I appreciate the comment." I go, "But you know, I'm just trying to play as best I can." But he likes the way I play because he knows that we pattern our playing. But Pedro learned from him because Pedro played guitar with Vargas for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when Cipriano and Chencho were trumpet players. So when because Don Rigo invited Pedro, you saw him play guitar. Oh, you play guitar? Because I'm gonna leave the group. Come in, train with me, and then you sing. And he says, I sing too. Says, but canto feo. Canto feo.
I do my best.
So yeah, I mean, he wasn't, you know, he tutored Pedro, and Pedro, through his playing, we just like observe and go, oh wow, this is great. So that's the way we play, very aggressive when it comes to sones, and beautifully when you play guapangos, you know, you just like, you know, you just have to play that way. I always say when you play, although it's rhythm, you know, like my guitar wants to sing too. So I let the soul pour into the right hand and just like sones, boom, boom, boom. Que se oigan los acentos y todo, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the way I approach it. It's like singing, you know.
When you started singing, when was that? Was that when you started playing guitar, or were you already a singer before that?
We all sang since we were kids.
Oh, okay.
It's like a given for our family. Everybody sings. All my nephews, you know. I mean, todos cantamos. It's just you evolve as a singer too. I think, you know, you evolve. It's like everything else. I mean, you hear Pedro sing all the time, and he's phrasing and stuff like that. So by the time we started doing it professionally, we had so much influence on the way we heard trios with Pedro would play singing first, Antonio, my brother, second, and my dad would sing third. So they were like great trios, you know. It's like, and so when we sang trios, it was patterned on that. Although my voice is different than my brother Pedro, but you know, if the soul filters into your singing, then you're doing something right.
Right.
Yeah,
when I'd watch you, I think one time I remember I went to Cielito Lindo. Yeah, what I like about that restaurant is that it's so close, so it feels intimate. And it's dark, even it's got like sexy lights. So yeah. So everything feels like very intimate, and just the way they play and sing there, it felt really nice to see a group that up close. You know what I mean? Like we play at a restaurant, but it's nothing like that. It's more like we're just playing for these people.
You guys rowdy. You stroll around or
no. We play in a specific spot too, but it's not like we have a stage and, you know,
I see.
Background. I think the background is the parking lot for us. It's more just, you know, it's not.
Well,
it's not as
long as you're playing, man.
Man.
As long as you're playing, that's the important thing, you know.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit of what I've been through, you know, and all the things that I've experienced and stuff, you know.
And right now, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was just gonna say, since you're talking about now that you're playing outside of no longer in Sol, I've seen that you've been playing with the Rams for the Rams team over there in LA.
Yeah, they when people need something here in LA, they'll always call the office, because Jose, services, whether it's to like writing music for Disney, when they need an original song,
Right.
whatever. So they'll call him. So Rams called him and they say, you know what, we're thinking of catering to the Latino community with a mariachi band. Can you send us somebody, because he couldn't do Sol. I mean, he couldn't do Sol because Sol actually teamed up with San Diego Chargers, which are the LA Chargers now.
Yeah, now they.
So there was conflict of interest. So Jose was there. You know what? Let's get some musicians together and form the group. We go, oh, okay, cool. So there's 9 of us, and we just did the national anthem, and I think last Sunday. And Jose came and played because it's three trumpet parts. So he goes, no, I'll play with you guys. So this violin parts, everything. It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful, well done. Yeah. And it's been a great experience. Now online but it is what it is. But when you're there live, it's a whole different, a whole different atmosphere, man.
Well, yeah. Right now it's kind of wild with everything going on. I know right now for sure. There's no fans in the stadium, so it's kind of, what is it like? You guys are just playing like in front of a camera and it's live streamed or something like that?
Well, we went the first time they called us.
Yeah.
And outside of the stadium, which is a new.
Yeah, the new stadium. Yeah.
I think it's called SoFi, but we call it Sofi. Spanish, right? SOFI. They call it SoFi, and I go, no, we're Mexican. We call it Sofi.
Sofi.
Como Sofia, no?
Yeah, that's my daughter's
name. So we went out and outside. And they had put us on stairs, and they had a sound system. Yeah. And we recorded like 6 songs, like Oye Como Va, Lowrider, Mariachi Loco, Las Mañanitas, and two other songs. It was like 6 songs that we recorded.
Right.
So they're gonna be playing them, in different games or whatever. But apparently, people really like Mariachi Rams. It's like, that's pretty cool. When we go gig, four of us are from Mariachi Rams. The 2 trumpet players. The guitarron player is actually a vihuela player, but he plays guitarron really well. Santiago Espinosa, he's very talented, and I play guitar. So, and the girl playing violin right now is Anisette Noperi, Juan Noperi's daughter. So we bond really well, and we get along really well, and with 5 people we try to play as good as possible, with good tempo, be in tune, and le echamos ganas, so when people see us, they go, we like you. I go, hey, go to YouTube and put Mariachi Rams, and then they see the faces. You guys are, I go, yeah, we're Mariachi Rams. So we're gonna charge more.
Right. Premium prices.
Platinum
package, all todo el pedo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that's great. Since you're talking about gigging, we've talked a lot of this podcast is also just talking about our experiences. Really, the podcast every week we just talk about the crazy shit that just happens every week. Sometimes you have crazy clients. You see weird things at the gig. I mean, that's a given. You go to a gig and not every gig is going to be the same. So can you talk about anything that you just like find just similar experience? Maybe we might have a similar experience than gigging, but like something you can think of where it's just like these clients are weird, or just how you feel like at a gig, or cosas que you just like, oh man, I don't know how to describe.
It's right now with this pandemic, everything that we do is in private homes, right?
Yeah,
we go to their homes, and it's just basically 2 or 3 families, nothing more than that. And some of them have the thing on.
Yeah, the mask.
Some do, and some don't. We don't use a mask. We just, we're social distance.
Yeah, keep away.
And then, we keep our distance. And people are always very gracious. You guys want to eat something? There's food right there. Just help yourselves. And if we're hungry, then we'll eat. If not, we just like, you guys want a beer? And I'm not a drinker, so I always kind of basic, unless I'm really thirsty, I go, no, I'll have a beer. But I never finish it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe a shot of tequila, maybe 1. But
Sammy.
I've never been a drinker. So basically, people are very gracious. And sometimes we're there. We went to a 3-hour gig about 3 weeks ago, and we ended up doing 6. because he would go, give me 1 more hour.
Okay.
And then we felt almost getting ready to go. No, necesito una hora más. And we ended up doing 3 extra hours. It was crazy. And it was funny because Tony Zuniga, you had him on. You said you had him on. Yeah, he was helping us out.
Yeah,
they wanted an 8-piece group. So so Tony and I, and it's like Tony goes, man, Chuy is like we never left each other. I go, bro, when you learn the proper way, there's no reason why we can't play together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's gonna follow me, I'm gonna follow him. We just like boom, bond.
Just click.
Yeah.
But effectively, of course, just out of respect, he tends to look at me the way he do things.
Yeah.
And then we just do it automatically. So we had a really great time together. We had a great time. So, and the other night Pique came by. Pique and Adrian Baca, they were here. They came to visit me, whatever. And I told Pique, bring your vihuela. I mean, we can do a video together, whatever. And then Adrian was here, and I go, yeah, my son's violin. Why don't we do el toro viejo, just to illustrate la melodía que se amarra con la armonía, just the way you bond together.
Right.
So we did el toro viejo on YouTube, and then I put the link on Facebook. So, just a way, and it's like anything else. All these guys that played with me, and I always say it not out of being like I'm this player, not that. I go, but anybody that comes into the group, Sol de Mexico, no matter how talented they may be, they have to go through me.
Yeah.
And play that way we play in Sol de Mexico. And there's always a learning period that they have to regardless of how talented they are. And Tony and Pique are super talented, and then it was just mutual respect, and that's just the way it is. It's not like, hey, I'm, this, I'm that, or I'm Jose's brother, so you got to follow me. No. It's like, I paid my dues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everything else. So, yeah, it was, But yeah, gigging, when you go out, most of these people are kind of predictable, but always very gracious, very, sometimes we go like the carrancho type thing, and the dirt and all that. No se saben fulana, sometimes they ask songs
from
basically
their
we know, I mean, and sometimes, that we know the music, but not the lyrics, or the guy will take out, you take out Google Alfredo Jimenez, Google Alfredo Jimenez, you take out Google, as long as they hear the songs, you can do it. You can do it with smaller groups.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the rep, man. Like sometimes you can't know exactly what people are gonna ask for. Like it's like you said, sometimes it's predictable, man. They be asking like the same stuff, like you already know. Yeah. Pero hay veces que no, they it's like you said, you're in a rancho and they want the corrido from their town, and next thing you know, you're like, you know what? If we've never heard that song, like, how you not gonna know that song? How you not gonna know that song? And it can get confrontational stuff like that. But I mean, usually that doesn't happen. Usually we're it's like you said, we're just there to entertain you, and then next thing you know, you're playing 6 hours at a gig. That's just kind of how it goes. The
thing for me, like I told the guy who leads the group, which is Chris Rubalcaba. Yeah, Rubalcaba,
he's liked a lot of our stuff on Instagram. Shout out to him.
He's a really good kid.
Yeah.
He's talented, and he's been getting better in his phrasings. Jose gave him some homework, and he was taking some lessons. And Jose would tell him, listen to this, and then tell me what you hear. So he had him listen to Miguel Martinez, Cipriano, Pedro Rey, Chencho, all these. I go, and tell me. So his phrasing has been getting better, and every so often he'll ask me, hey, what do you think? I go, right there, the way you're estás picando al revés, I tell them because I heard my brothers all my life.
Yeah.
So I know what it's supposed to sound like. But I'm not like on top of them, like, hey, man, you guys played it, you know what I mean? If they ask me, fine, and if they don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play as good as possible.
Yeah.
¿Me entiendes? But those guys are very, very nice individuals, and they I think they appreciate that I play with them, because he had asked me, and I thought about it. I go, I don't know if I want to really go out after being in Sol de Mexico, right?
Right.
And I go, you know what? If I don't try it, I'll never know. So I went out and I liked it. I liked it. So they started calling me their MVP. So one day when they go, he put something on Facebook, right? Oh, this is so and so. This is our MVP, Chuy Hernandez. I go, what's MVP, man? Is that most valuable puto or what? So we got a kick out of it, but you know, we have a great relationship. You know, it's awesome. You know, I'm having a great time.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad that you're still playing. I remember when you were finally you were actually saying that you were finally going to retire, because I think you had said you were going to get out at one time, but didn't you hurt your wrist or something like that first? And then
what happened? We had talked. My brother kind of approached me one day. Goes, "Hey, Chuy, so when do you think you want to retire?" Yeah. I go, "You're trying to fire me or what?" And I told him, "No, brother. I go. Let me go till I'm 66. Okay, because I'll be able to get Social Security, and then I can save some money, whatever, and I'll be fine. And my house will be paid for by then." I was okay. So when I was about to hit 66, it goes, and I still felt really good, you know. And I go, "Hey, bro," I go, "I'd like to do another year." It goes, "Okay, that's fine if you want to." Yeah. So I was finishing off 67 when I was 67 years old, and then he goes, "Hey, bro, I need for you to do one more." Okay, so I started doing 2019, right? And I turned 68. I'm 68 now. And I go, okay. So as we were approaching when September hit, he asked me again, "Hey, bro," I go, I need to make the change now to get the next guitar player in the group. I go, so you can like start training. So we're going to be doing the Christmas tour. Oh, right. I go, "Do you want to teach school?" And I go, yeah, of course, you know. It goes, so in September, school begins. You leave the group and we get a new guy in. Okay, I'll sell my suits and everything. So the guy came in and he had to like spend $4,500 with all the suits and you know the array of stuff that you have to buy.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff, and so that's the way it was. And I was teaching school till March when the pandemic. Everything closed up, and right now I'm just like, I'm getting the unemployment, I'm getting the Social Security, and then I'm making the cash on the thing. So I've never made I've never made so much money in my life. I swear to God, man.
Old age, or that, I
mean, it's like, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. You know? Like
exactly. You
know, like Friday and Saturday, I'm gonna do 13 hours. You know, I mean Saturday and Sunday. So times 70. Do the math.
And it's on weekends too, you know? Huh? It's on weekends too. So
weekends.
Exactly, So, and then on Mondays, I go teach over there and have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, you know? Sometimes we do on Friday also. But it's all good. And you know, for me, there's no regrets and why I chose music over teaching school. Right. You know what I mean? And I was going to do actually some workshops in Texas. And then the pandemic hit. So, ¿cómo se llama el muchacho the guy from Texas?
Texas.
Anyway, I know. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he invited me to go, and I was gonna go, and then this thing hit. So, you know what? We're gonna have to do it online. So they sent me the list of the songs that we're gonna do. I checked them out. And then I took one at a time. He goes, "Can you do a video per song?" So one of us, a bolero, a ranchera, huapango, joropo, and then a son. So actually, instead of playing the songs, I just, we're gonna be playing a song. This is what how you wanted to hear, you know. Bam, bolero. The way you want to strum the eighth notes, make sure your slide accent on the guitarrón is like pam, dun, 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 pam, pam, dun. Pam, pam, just a slight accent so you can keep it nice and tight instead of letting it open up. Right. Tres cuartos, same thing. Pam, pam, just stay. Listen to the scales in the guitar. Pam, 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 dun, dun. Unless the guitarrón is really bad, then you have to lead, right? So I broke up. I broke down every song. I mean, the way, you know. And that's what I sent the videos, and they liked it a lot. And I go, wow, here, it was fun doing it that way, but I'd rather do it in person.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like there's a better connection once you're actually there.
Yeah. When they see you, like,
yeah, they
how
can
do you do
actually
stuff,
see you. Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of how it is right now. I mean, us too. I mean, we've been gigging, except for those 2 months that when the pandemic hit, I think in May and June, we had nothing, for 2 months straight.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, for a while it was nothing. I knew Alex Trevino se llama.
Oh, okay.
From McAllen.
Trevino, yeah, Trevino.
Yeah.
Shout out. Very nice guy. And then once they got everything ready, I think Grijalva did the violins. I don't know who did the trumpets. And I think Jonathan from Vargas, he did the vocals.
Oh, okay.
The people. And Pepe didn't do the vihuela. Somebody else. I just did the rhythm. So, they're just... Right. Because all those kids, I mean, when they pick you for that, it's already technically good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the approach. How do you want to interpret the right hand? That's really what it boils down to. It's not technically, they know their chords and whatever, but how do you want to strum it? Yeah. You know what I mean? I never think about it because I play with my heart.
Oh.
But when you're trying to teach it, then you have to like really demonstrate. Okay, this is going on.
Yeah.
¿Entiendes? So it was a fun thing. But Alex was very, very gracious, and he sent me the videos when they did everything. You know how they put everything in little cuadritos and all that. Yeah. It was impressive. Yeah, they did a really, really good job. So, Texas has always been like high IQ mariachi.
Yeah, I mean it's gone wild over here since I was in high school, which was a long time ago now. But I know for sure, like once in those years, mariachi just kind of took off here. I mean, everybody. Next thing you know, every school has a mariachi here, and especially like a good mariachi. Like they're really good. They're going straight into competition and teaching the kids, from when they're young. So I mean, it's blowing up here for sure. I know it's changed a lot since I was in high school. I mean, kids nowadays are coming out hot. I'm not sure how.
There's a lot of there's a lot of acrobatics. And especially vihuela players, right?
Right.
A lot of acrobatics, but I always say, acrobatics don't impress me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna hear you play. The nucleus of mariachi. I don't care about you doing all kinds of stuff like that. I just want to see what emotional content you have with your instrument.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you talk about Texas blowing up with mariachi because they used to be very racist against Mexicans. So I remember my brothers in the 60s. They did a tour when they went into Texas, and then they said they went into this restaurant, and they go, oh, queremos comer, whatever. Oh, okay, ahorita.
Was it in trajes?
No, they went, but they're Mexican. I mean, you could
tell okay. I thought like there was very, very obvious.
Like you guys are Mexican, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're Texans, right? Anyway, I guess they made that dichotomy, Texas, Mexican. So they said, oh, ahorita en un momento. They never came to take an order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
Was it packed?
They experienced, we're talking the 60s, when there was still more racism, whatever.
Yeah.
But now, and then when Texas blew up with mariachi, I go, fuck, man! I go, what an irony, what an irony,
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like I said, it's taught in all the schools. I mean, any high school around here is if they don't have one, they're trying to get one. They're looking for teachers.
Even the smallest of schools has a program starting, or they're thinking about starting a new program.
Yeah.
So. Definitely. And I think for any program, the foundation is everything.
Yeah. So I think that's a good question for you. Since you've been teaching also, these kids and in this class that you're doing and just in general, you've done a lot of workshops, around the country. What would you suggest to someone, even if it's not an armonía player, but just people that are getting into mariachi or looking into, this might be what I do, and for the rest of high school or whatever, but like just getting into the music, like what would you say to them that would help them to become a better player or just a better mariachi in general?
Well, I think that primarily they should, like, YouTube has everything, right?
Right. now there's YouTube. Yeah, because when I started, it wasn't all there. But now
exactly right. So now they have all the tools in front of them.
Right.
Where you go, you know what? Let me research Vargas. Let me research Nuevo Tecalitlán, Sur de Mexico, Camperos. Just listen to everything and just see the level of playing.
Right.
And then look for somebody that can teach you the proper way. Like for me, I did some instructional videos for beginners, intermediate and advanced, and they're all free in my YouTube channel. They can go in there and say, you know what, well, how do I hold a pick? And I go, you hold a pick this way, and this is the way you're going to strum, and these are the exercises you should be doing, and slowly until you get into the advanced part.
Right.
And then the advanced part is when you're supposed to interpret the technical part. So my channel, I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it's Chuyazo with a Z 52. Chuyazo 52. You go in there and there's all kinds of stuff that I put up there.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos, just of you just jamming there on the guitar. I mean, it's good to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they have a lot of stuff, a lot of tools, whatever. And then what's more important is not to get into the bandwagon of criticizing, especially if your playing is still not at high aptitude.
Right.
They say, well, I think so and so sucks or whatever. The etiquette is to practice. And when you're technically sound, then look for somebody that you admire, that I like the way that person plays. I would love to get a lesson in, or I would like to invite them and come and teach the rhythm section. Like sometimes they invite me, but right now we can't do anything. But I want to do more of that, obviously. Do more workshops and continue to be, face up with kids that really want to learn.
Yeah, interact.
You know what I mean? But you have to respect history, man.
Yeah.
And I know my history from, Don Jesus when he first came into Vargas back in the 50s, where he used to play. And why they invited him, it's like he used to play with this group called Mariachi Occidente, I believe it was called. And he was writing, because he had gone to school so he started writing for that group, and that group began to sound like Vargas would say, hey, So they go, hey, well, shit, what are we going to do? It's easy. Invite the guy who writes for them. so they went. It took Don Jesus came into the group and started writing for Vargas, And then, later, when the whole rhythm section left, guitarrón, the two guitars and vihuela, it's like, oh shit, And so Nati came in. Before Pato, there was another vihuela player. They call him. I don't know what his name was, but le decían el Simba. He played vihuela really well. And Don Rigo was playing guitar, and Nati Santiago was playing guitarrón. So, but when the vihuela player was already, when Rigo came in, and Don Ruben said, you know what, rhythm section, Don Rigo's going to be the leader of the section. And apparently the vihuela player was not in accord with that, because theoretically, traditionally, vihuela players are the ones who lead the section, right?
Right.
But in this case, it was the guitar player. Because Don Ruben right away saw him, this is a musician, plays really like strong. I want him leading the section. So I don't know if you remember, do you guys have the record Sones de Jalisco?
Yeah.
Okay, you notice guitarrón, guitarra, and vihuela? Yeah. That's the reason why. Because the Rigo was leading the section.
Yeah.
And then later, it just vihuela and whatever. So for a long time in Los Galleros and Sol, I was in the front, guitarrón and the guitar.
Right.
And
I've seen some videos of you like that.
Yeah.
Like you're like.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
I go, vihuela player would ask me, hey, can I switch places with you? I go, you can until you play better than me. So that never happened.
Right. Ahí se quedó.
Of course, I'm being funny, but one day the vihuela player, his name was Pedro Torres,
right.
really nice guy. And he goes, oiga, le quería pedir un favor. A ver, me dijo, ¿qué pasó? Si usted se pone acá y yo me pongo junto al guitarrón, pues de esa manera lo escucho mejor, porque, which made sense, right?
Right.
You can hear
it. Like, this makes sense. Yeah.
And I go, ¿sabes qué? Okay, vamos a hacerlo así. So from then on, we started doing it that way.
Right.
You know, just guitarrón, vihuela, guitar. Because they could hear me better. They could follow better that way.
Right.
You know, but I've never been like a condescending type of person. You know, you whoever comes in, he was probably the least talented. Well, no, maybe not. I think Juan Morales was the least talented.
Okay.
They came in, but Juan Morales is a really good musician, and he picked up quickly.
Yeah.
And he was doing really well, but when we started clashing, so he had to leave the group. And then Pedro came in. Pedro wasn't that great on it, but he understood the instrument.
Yeah.
Jose goes, no, but he sings really well, but we'll get him to play well. So I told him, I go, just pay attention in the way we do it. And so, and I always tell him, I go, we have the best rhythm section. I go, and as long as we follow protocol, we're always going to have the best rhythm section. So it was always that way, you know. That's what I said. Everybody has to come through me. You got to just, you know, the culture of the group is this. This is the way we play. Orale, boom. You know what I mean?
You guys already cultivated a certain sound, you know what I mean? So whoever comes in has to kind of adapt to that. Obviously, I mean, that's what's already there. That's what you guys want to keep consistent.
Correct. You have to be, you know, self-assured of what you do.
Right.
If you kind of second guess yourself, then you know what I mean. And there was times when, I mean, there was times when I was really like struggling with my with this certain medicine that I wasn't taking yet, and I was really struggling with my index finger, and I could really dig in. I would tell Pique, I go, hey Pique, just take the reins, man. I'll follow you. I go around. But when I was strong, I go, I got it. So we would go back and forth.
Right.
Very respectful and everything. And then once I started taking this other medicine, when I qualified for Medicare, they actually sent me to a rheumatologist. They go, we're going to start you with this medication. And I've been taking it for going on 4 years. And I'm able to play, you know. The damage that I got in this finger it's there. It's not reversible. So certain things that I can't do. But in essence, I can still play. You can still say, he plays well.
No, that's great. I'm very happy that you're still out there. I mean, like I said, I see you on Facebook still playing. So for me, it's cool to see that you're still out there playing, you know, and well, like you said, you're playing well and you're having fun doing it. So I mean,
that's the most important thing, man. When you go out and play, don't do it because I'm gonna make a few bucks. You know, just when you pick up the instrument, just always try to play your heart out. You know.
Yeah.
So you're playing guitarrón, or what is it?
Yeah, I play guitarrón.
Guitarrón. Yeah. Okay, so so you guys are that's it, right? Guitarrón and vihuela, no guitar.
Yeah, no guitar right now. We used
small
to.
Group, yeah. So normally that's what you see, guitarrón and vihuela.
Yeah.
All group, and then you see us and guitarrón and guitarra.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, one time I'll tell you one anecdote. There was this people this mariachi came in from Mexico, right? And they, you know, they heard of Sol de Mexico. They went to Italy to have dinner, and you know, it was on a Thursday night, and those nights I played alone. So you know, we're playing and so on. We're playing everything, and then when we finished, when we took a break, we went over to say hello. Hey, ¿cómo están? And then one guy goes, ¿sabe qué? Le digo, ¿qué pasó? Dice, cuando empezamos a escuchar, pues se oía bien macizo. Y de repente nos dimos cuenta que no había vihuela, que nomás era la guitarra.
La guitarra.
Y volteamos y nos vimos, ¿se fijan que no hay vihuela? Digo, le digo, pues yo le doy como aprendí con mi hermano Pedro. You know, so they always notice, you know, when I played alone, and they go, man, you don't need a vihuela player. I go, yeah, but it's nice to have a good one, right? A good vihuela player at bands, you know, because vihuela's got the special sound that coupled with a guitar, it's really beautiful. Yeah. But you know, I played percussively, so that's why I think they don't miss the vihuela.
As much.
Yeah.
Plus, you can hold your own probably with the repertoire and everything. So I mean, it's not necessarily needed, you know. So.
Yeah. So whatever. I don't know if you guys have any more questions for me.
I mean, I was gonna say we're pretty much out of time, but I mean, was there anything else that you wanted to just tell anybody listening, or a shout out to what you're doing or whatever. Just
yeah. Well, like I said, I want to just let everybody know that I still play. And I play because I still think that I play well. If I was like sacrificing what I do, I would not play.
Right.
You know what I mean? My singing is not, after pneumonia that I had last year, it kind of screwed me up. But once in a while, I can do some singing. But and of course, I'm available for workshops all over the country, wherever people want to see me and take part in workshops. As soon as the pandemic is over, you can contact me on Facebook, Messenger, or whatever. I'm available, and just want to keep on nourishing the next generation of mariachis.
For sure.
That's pretty much it. And mariachi, thumbs up, love it, and el consejo.
Hey.
Cuando toquen cualquier instrumento que toquen, tocar con el alma. Always play with your heart. You never just do it automatically. No, okay, otra vez el son de la negra. No, okay. Try to play it well every time. So,
yeah.
Y muchos saludos para todos. Espero que no los haya aburrido mucho con mis pláticas. No. Hay mucho más que platicar sobre la historia de el mariachi, pero será en otra ocasión que nos liguemos por ahí.
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2 with Chuyazo.
Chuyazo.
The man with a golden gun. three marriages under his belt.
Well, as long as the third one's working.
Yeah. Hey, man, yeah. I mean, you'll learn. If you keep it in your pants, guys, you'll be fine.
Yeah, ves, Victor?
I don't know, bro. Like, sounds kind of hard, right?
Yeah. That's what she said.
Right. No, man, not Chewie, but I appreciate you coming on. This is really
no problem, man.
For you to come.
I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got a chance to speak with both of you. And like I have said before, mariachi is in good hands. And just keep on trucking, man.
Yeah.
And keep on inviting people that can talk about a little bit of history, so on and so forth. And
for sure.
And anytime you want to go to part 2, then let me know, and we'll get it done.
Yes, that's true. We appreciate you coming on, and really, just keep on doing you. I see you playing. Just keep on doing it as long as you can. I mean, we will too. So, just
where can I find your podcast?
It's on. It's on Facebook. So you look it up. It says CharroBeans, all one word.
Okay.
Podcast. So it's on there. I'll tag you because once I post this, I'll tag you.
Oh, fantastic.
And then same thing on Instagram. I don't know if you have an Instagram, but I'm on there as well with the.
No, Instagram. I just have Facebook. I didn't want to get it, but my brother goes, "Hey, a lot of people want to talk to you. A lot of people know you."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And as soon as I got in, I go, like I'm up to 5,000. People requesting. Like,
Te espantaron.
Yeah. Oh, it's been fun. No, but anyway, go ahead and tag me, and then CharroBeans.
CharroBeans.
That's what you call it? CharroBeans. Okay.
CharroBeans.
That's pretty cool. I
appreciate it. Well, thank you once again for coming on, and we'll see you soon. I hope when we get to jam with you, or at least talk with you in person when all this is over.
So. Un día.
Órale, ahí estamos a la orden. Cuídense mucho. Un abrazote para todos y a todo el mundo del mariachi.
Igualmente.
Cuídense mucho.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Take care, man. Órale, pues. Nos vemos.
Nos vemos, Chuy.
Gracias.
Nos vemos. Hasta luego.